Okay, so we should now be live on YouTube. So, hello, SC4. Welcome to the Dogs in the Library for our virtual National Library Week celebration. With us today is Carolyn Crow of the Blue Water Therapy Dog Group, and she's got her dog Tommy with her, and we're gonna visit with her, find out what she does, get to see her dogs, and yeah, I guess we can head over to Jane with some of the questions. We've got some questions. Feel free to enter your questions into the chat. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll ask any of the questions that you have to Carolyn. So feel free to shoot us your questions and comments, and let's start our event here. Let's see how this goes. All right, go ahead, Jane.
Okay. Hi, Carolyn.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, so one question that we often receive when you come to visit is, how long have you been training dogs for therapy?
Well, I started out with leader dogs for the blind back in 1993, and I raise a puppy for a year and then give it back to leader dogs, and many of them don't make the program. They don't make leader dogs. About 50% don't make it. So I've taken some back. They're called career change because it's not a negative. They're not a reject. They're just not suited to be leader dogs for one reason or another. Well, these dogs are so socialized. You know, for a whole year they go to different places, and you know, they go into buildings and restaurants and that type of thing. It's like, wow, this is nice that they're so used to being around people and they're so well behaved and so well trained that I looked into making them therapy dogs. So back in about 2006, I had Tag along at the time, and he was a yellow Labrador, and I made him a therapy dog. And then Toby followed him. And then I now have Mitchell, Laura Lee, and then this is Tommy. Toby and Tag along have passed. Laura Lee's my oldest, and she's kind of retired. She's just a little too old to be visiting. So Mitchell's my kid dog. He does more of the reading programs, or gonna start next fall. And then Tommy's more my senior dog, my hospice dog. So about 2006, I started therapy dog work.
Okay, and what's the difference between a therapy dog and a service dog?
Well, that's a good question, and it's good to know because there's a lot of confusion about that right now. Therapy dogs are our own pets. They're just our dogs that we share with others, but we share them with others by permission. We just don't walk in anywhere and say, here's our dog. We actually are like a volunteer at the hospital or Marwood Nursing Home or Regency. We become volunteers, and we, on a scheduled basis, bring our dogs in to bring comfort. But they're not covered under the ADA, you know, Americans Disability Act. But service dogs are. Service dogs are dogs that do something for you. They're either leading you because you're blind, or maybe you have seizures and they're going to detect seizures, or maybe you're diabetic and they have to detect your low sugar or high sugar. Maybe a dog is for stress or anxiety, like post-traumatic stress dogs. Now there is, to bring even more confusion, there are dogs called comfort dogs. Oh, Tommy just laid down. You're not going to be able to see him. Comfort dogs, and they're dogs that you have in your home, and it helps you to get on an airplane, or it helps you to get around, that you can't have a dog in your apartment. But they're not service dogs. You can't take them to a restaurant. You can't take them to the hospital. You can't take them, you know, to a store. They're not covered under ADA, the act. So the dog actually has to do something for you.
Okay. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, and so if you think about it, therapy dogs are just our dogs that bring comfort and smiles and let people, you know, pet them, and we share them, and we're volunteers and that type of thing. Whereas service dogs are actually doing something for you. You're not sharing them with others. You're not letting them pet them. They're doing a service for you. They're working dogs.
So what type of training activities do your therapy dogs and trainers go through?
Therapy dogs, if leader dogs, they've already somewhat had them trained, but what therapy dogs, what we're looking for, and I do the testing for an organization called Love on a Leash. That's just one organization that certifies dogs for therapy dog work. There's many, many others, but it's just in this area. I do Love on a Leash, and then we have another person in our Blue Water Therapy Dog Club. She does Alliance Therapy Dogs. If you do others, you have to kind of go out of the area for testing of that. But Love on a Leash, what we look for are mostly manners. We need a dog to walk down a hall of a nursing home or a hospital or a school, and they're not pulling you and going from side to side and panting. You know, we need them calm and under control. We do need them somewhat obedient, but we don't need a Rin Tin Tin. If everybody remembers, Rin Tin Tin was a super dog, or you don't need a show dog. You don't need a dog that when you say sit, it immediately sits. I mean, we want them, if you say sit, you kind of want them to sit, and stay is real important. But mostly we're looking for manners and personality. We need a dog that wants to be pet, that wants to go forward and say hi, that loves people, that loves children, that kind of, we look for the health. We have to have a healthy dog and a clean dog, a dog that looks nice, not a dirty, you know, smelly. We can't have it smelly, and we want it groomed and nice looking, presentable, in other words. So,
Yeah.
So that mostly it's manners. We need a dog that's, when it approaches you, we need a nice approach to a human being, and they don't pull and jump on you and lick your face and get in your lap. And because we do visit seniors, and that could potentially hurt them.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of times people are afraid of dogs there at first, so they don't want a dog lunging towards them. So many of us have a special command to go say hello. I say, go say hi or go greet. Some people just say okay, because then you kind of say, would you like to pet my dog? Or they might go, oh, can I pet your dog? And the dog, you need to have it on command to go forward and say hello. It shouldn't do that on its own. Now, you know, some are a little looser, some are a little more excitable, and that's cute, but we don't want a dog hurting someone, especially pawing someone with their nails. So.
Oh, okay. So the manners are important, but is there a specific dog breed that is suitable, more suitable?
Boy, it can be any breed, from very, very small to very, very large. We have Burmese mountain dogs all the way down to Chihuahua mixes, Rat Terrier mixes, we have one that's gosh, I can't remember, but it's a cute little. She came to it's a little white dog.
Yeah.
But I can't remember her breed, but she's so sweet. I just love her.
Oh.
Penelope is her name. And
I remember her. Yeah.
Yeah, Penelope. So hopefully if we do this where you get to meet the other dogs, that Penelope will be one of those dogs, because she's a doll. But it can be any breed at all. Now, some people are afraid of some breeds, like German Shepherds, Pit Bulls, Rottweilers, Doberman Pinschers. But we have those in our group. We have American Bullies that look big and tough, but they're so sweet. They're just the sweetest dogs. We have a Doberman that is a doll, just a doll. All sorts of breeds, Weimaraner, Burmese Mountain Dog, everything, anything. We have a lot of golden retrievers and labs. We are looking for small dogs. We would love to have more small dogs. It's so nice to be able to take that dog and put it in a senior's lap in a wheelchair. Whereas our dogs are trained, but you only have the head. I mean, it comes up to the person. So it's kind of nice when they can hold the dog.
Yeah. Okay. We have a question from someone watching. How do you not get attached and want to keep them all?
That's the leader dog for the blind. The therapy dogs are our own dogs. They're our dogs. They're our pets. You know, we take them to the doctor. We pay for their food and that type of thing. That's our dog. But now leader dog for the blind puppies, we do raise them for a year. And it is hard to turn them back in, because you've loved them for a year, cared for them. But I'm telling you, it's something in your mind that says, I'm doing this for someone else. So when I get that new puppy, I think of that dog as not my puppy. This is somebody that someday is going to really need this puppy as an adult dog, leading them. I have several people now. I have three very successful. My last three dogs have just been the most fantastic matches, and I get to meet those people and know about the dog and see how they're helping that person. I have one out in Colorado Springs, and the gentleman's a veteran, and he has post-traumatic stress. He even went to the White House to meet the president with his, he's part of the Wounded Warrior Project now. And the dog, I mean, the Wounded Warriors changed his life, and now the dog has made it where he can do this that he loves. And it's just brought a lot of relief to him to have a dog and have this service dog. Another one didn't make leader dogs, but it's now a electronic detection dog out in New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico, with the state attorney general's office. And it sniffs out miniature electronics to catch child pornographers. They hide them on small discs under floorboards or under pillows or whatever, and the dog can find them right away.
Wow.
And I just had one go to Costa Rica with a gentleman. It was his third dog, and he's a very successful businessman, and he needed a very strong, very, independent dog that can lead him. And he got my Boomer, which is it was an excellent match. So when someone says to me, how do you give them up? Well, one, they're not my dog. It's not my dog. And then I do it for that other person that really needs that dog. I just foster that little puppy for a year so someone can get independence, and change their lives. Very meaningful to me. But then some of them don't make it, and that's why I have Tommy and Mitchell and Laura Lee. That's why I have them. They didn't make it for one reason or another. So you might get them back.
When you're fostering those dogs, do you know what they're going to be used for later?
I raise it specifically for leader dogs for the blind. So my dogs will go hopefully to someone that needs it, that can't, is partially sighted or totally blind, and that will lead them. But they have a new program now at Leader Dog, because these dogs have been, so much has been put into them for a year. We have such a structured puppy raising program now that these dogs are so great when they go back that we have opened it up to other service organizations. This puppy can't be a leader dog for one reason. Maybe it chases squirrels, but it would be a great scent detection dog. So if they come from other organizations and look at the stock that didn't make it, we call the career change, and they go, oh, we would love to have this dog for our program. So they take it for their program.
Okay. That's interesting.
But when I'm raising it, it's specifically for the blind.
What type of places do you bring Tommy and some of your other therapy dogs?
Well, it depends on the dog. Now, my Mitchell, he's more of a children's dog, so I take him more, or I will take him. He had some health issues. He's back to normal now. So in the fall, hopefully when schools are back to normal, he'll be going for what's called reading programs. And the children come and they read to the dogs. We have several schools that are very active with the dog programs, and more every day. That's why we need more and more therapy dogs every day, because the school programs are definitely very popular. Now, Tommy, my dog, I'm a volunteer with several nursing homes, but also my area is hospice work. I'm with McLaren Hospice, Alara Hospice, and Blue Water Hospice. So I have different, I go to the hospice house, that type of thing, but he also does senior programs at Marwood, Regency, I think it used to be Bar's Home. They call it Lakeshore Woods now, up at, on Lakeshore, Sanborn Home. So we do those sometimes once a week, but a lot of times once a month we go and we just bring smiles and comfort, and hospitals. I'm both McLaren and Lake Huron Medical, I'm a volunteer there. Oh, and Medi Lodges of St. Clair and Port Huron and Yale. I've been out to Yale for Medi Lodge. But it's, so he does more of my senior and my hospital work. The hospitals and the senior centers, it's amazing. It's definitely good for the residents, but I'm telling you, the staff, they just love the dogs. They love the dogs coming in. You know, they have a tough job. Like everybody's advertising right now, the healthcare workers, they're, you know, under such stress sometimes. And the dogs just bring, you know, fabulous connection with the staff.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. We have a question from someone who's viewing. If I wanted my dog to become a therapy dog, what do I need to do? And what does the training consist of?
That's a good question. You don't necessarily need training, but it is, if your dog is wild and barks and jumps and is kind of uncontrollable, then you do want to go and maybe take a basic obedience class. I have several classes that I teach very specifically for therapy dogs and for leader dogs for the blind at Great Lakes Canine on Runnels Street in Port Huron off Water Street. I'm not the only one there, though. There are other trainers at Great Lakes Canine, but some of them are training more for showing your dog or 4-H, that type of thing. My classes are very much geared towards manners. Because at home, you can teach your dog to sit and down and stay, but you need manners where if your dog comes into a facility and there's 3 other dogs there, your dog can't be barking and jumping and wanting to play with those dogs. You have to have them under control. Another little trick too in that training, when we do get them certified, I'm wearing a shirt, and when I put that on, Tommy knows he's going to go to work, but he also wears either, this is a bandana, or he also has a vest that he wears. And many times, even leader dog puppies, when we put their vest on, or when the therapy dogs, they know they're working. So it does kind of change their demeanor. But the training, you do want to have roughly basic obedience, but mostly it's manners. Don't jump on people, don't bark, don't whine, don't paw at people, don't rush you down the hallway of a hospital, that type of thing. So if they go to the website of many organizations, I'm with Love on a Leash, but that's not the only one. There's Alliance Therapy Dogs. If you just Google therapy dogs, it'll give you an idea of what your dog has to do to pass the evaluation. Now, one thing with Love, why we like Love on a Leash so much is you don't just take the test and then you go off and you're gone. You have to mentor 10 times with someone in our organization. So we take you to a hospital or we take you to a nursing home. And you have to do that 10 times and then you get your certification. So it's like you get to practice and you get to see what you want to do. You know, do you like nursing homes? Do you like hospice? Do you like hospitals? Do you like, we even do funeral home visits where we're in the background of a funeral visitation and the people find comfort in our dogs being there and they pay attention to the dogs. So it's a way to mentor. I know with Alliance, I think you mentor 3 times. Love on a Leash is 10 times, but some of the other groups, you take the test and you're off and gone. And now if you do another organization, we do have a club here that meets at Great Lakes Canine. And you're welcome to come to that club meeting anytime you want. We have speakers, we have our dogs there. That's at 6:30 every second Friday of every month. Not in May though, probably. And we didn't have one in April, of course. So you can check on Great Lakes Canine's Facebook page and it will tell you, you know, when our meetings are. Also, we have Blue Water Therapy Dog Club. That's a Facebook page you want to watch also. It shows where we go, you know, some of the dogs, you can see the dogs and you can just like that page and see what we're doing. But that meeting is the second Friday at 6:30. You can come yourself, but don't bring your dog until it's certified. Only you can attend. Until you have a certified therapy dog, then you can attend. And it can be any organization. It can be Therapy Dog International, Alliance, Love on a Leash, Pet-a-Pet, Delta Pet. There's all sorts of them out there. And then we just kind of share information of where you can go, what you can, you know, where we're visiting. But you can, and you don't have to do anything we do. You can go anywhere you want. You do have to get permission from the different, you can't just walk into Marwood. I mean, you want to get a permission, you know, can I come and visit all your patients? Now, if you have a therapy dog and it's only one person you're visiting, you can do that. But to go to Marwood and go patient, 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 you do have to become a volunteer, just like the hospitals, because you got to follow their rules for infection and HIPAA, you know, where you can't talk about, if you see somebody, you know, you can't go, oh, I saw so-and-so in the hospital. You can't talk about that. So there's lots of things you want to know under the volunteer, you know, umbrella.
Okay.
Hopefully that wasn't confusing.
No, it was very helpful.
Oh, good.
And it's quite involved. You know, I didn't think about that. You had to follow the volunteer rules.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you can't just walk in and start going patient to patient because, you know, that's their patients. You're representing that organization where you are. And if you do something wrong, they're not going to like that.
Yeah. Right. So do you want to talk a little bit about Tommy? Because you have Tommy right there. I know you gave us a little bit of information about Tommy.
Tommy's snoozing right now. He likes to get in my lap, but I'm sitting up, so he can't quite get in my lap. But Tommy's an ex-leader dog for the blind, so he's a career change leader dog. Look at the camera. He's quite fabulous. He's the best at hospice, I think, and funeral home visits. He's also part of, there's a whole team of Homeland Security Emergency Management volunteers. In fact, we were just in the parade with the first responders paraded past the 2 hospitals, and they did include the Homeland Security volunteer dogs. So we got to do that. It was marvelous. It was wonderful. So.
Oh, nice.
I want to know about Tommy. He's just a good all-around dog.
Oh, good. Do you think they miss seeing people like this past month when they've been homebound?
Tommy did or does at first. He's getting a little more used to it now. In fact, I hope he doesn't get lazy. It did help. We did do the parade. I do take him out, like if I have, of course, I haven't been out in quite a while, but I was, when he was kind of missing going out, I was just putting him in the car. I took him down to Marysville Park and walked him around and then came home just to get him out. And I did try, I did go to, we visited at a place called, it was Bar's Home. It used to be Bar's Home, but now it's Lake Shore Woods, and they're expanding out front. But I know so many of the people there that I did call the activity person, and we were able to go window to window. I didn't advertise it, or it wasn't a whole big group. It was just me alone with Tommy. And I'm telling you, that was a big hit. And I think it helped Tommy more than anything, but the staff loved it, if anything. And the residents did too. But we were outside, we had our mask on, or I had my mask on, Tommy didn't have one. And we just went window to window, and it was very rewarding. So I was hoping maybe to do that again this week somewhere, but we have to be careful because, you know, we can't gather as a group, and, you know, we kind of want to do things individually. You don't want to be, you know, you want them inside to be helped by the staff, and the staff is so busy right now that you don't want to put pressure on the staff. But if you get the okay from them, because I don't want to go to a window and then have somebody fall. I would feel terrible. So the person went right with me from room to room. They were inside and I was outside. Excuse me. It's not COVID.
That's okay.
Dry mouth. But it was very rewarding. So I hope to do that again. But again, I'm just kind of keeping that quiet. So, well, now I'm telling everybody, but you know, it's not a big group thing that we do by any means. It's, you know, because we're not supposed to really do that. So.
Yeah. Oh, but I'm sure it's the highlight of their day when you.
It made Tommy's day, that's for sure. But it really, I had a ball too, just watching the staff alone. They were just having a ball. But the residents enjoyed it too, even though they couldn't. I thought it was bad that they couldn't touch the dog, but I had a sign. He had rabbit ears on, and I had, you know, a sign saying "Tommy loves you" and that type of thing. So it was fun. It was very rewarding. So I hope that was just last week. So I hope to do that again this week.
Yes, I'm sure it was rewarding for everyone.
Right.
Even Tommy?
Only the smaller. You don't want to go too big because, again, they're so busy. You just hate to put, pressure on them saying, can we visit with the dogs,
Right.
So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is rewarding for the patients. I'm sure.
Well, that's the whole idea of therapy dogs, is to break up the day. It's so routine that it's just something a little different. The dog walks in, and sometimes it's talking to you. Sometimes they don't even care so much about the dog, but it gets you in the door. There's a conversation piece. Here I am with the dog, and they go, oh, hi, how are you? And then you start talking to them. They sometimes don't even like the dog all that much, but it gets you in the door.
Good. Okay. Well, someone had commented, thank you for all you do, Carolyn.
Oh,
I did, and they said, I didn't know all of this information. It was very interesting. When you visit in the library, I always think of how much we love it and how much the students love it. Thank you again.
We do too, actually. We love talking to everyone that comes and visits, finds out who they are and what they do, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, I know, it's very popular in the library.
Oh, yeah.
And someone responded, my dog just loves being petted and all the belly rubs, but her manners need a little work.
Workable. Take the class.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Manners are very important.
Manners are probably more important than obedience. Well, I mean, you have to have obedience, like don't pull on the leash, that type of thing. But manners are so, so important for not hurting someone.
Good. Is there anything else you want to bring up?
The reason it never came up why you become certified, and why you become certified is you get liability insurance with that. That's why you take the test. That's why you stay up to date on your health record. That's why in fact, you get cards every year. This one's mine. It's a membership card. And then this one's Tommy, and I have one for Laura Lee, and I have one for Mitchell. And that's your certification. And that tells people that you're, one, insured, but that also you're temperament tested, and that your dog does have manners, and it's going to be clean and healthy, that you're under a doctor's care or veterinarian care. That's how you get those cards and become certified. Otherwise, there are people that do just take their dogs to nursing homes. Some nursing homes let you do that. You just have to show the health record. But it is important that you remember that sometimes if your dog takes, and we don't give treats, but if you let the person give your dog a treat or something and it accidentally nips the finger and it bleeds, they're going to interpret that. It may be not, your dog's not fighting, it just took the treat hard, but they're going to possibly sue you or kick you out or not have you ever come back again, that type of thing. That's why you get certified, is that you have that liability insurance, because even the best dog can make a mistake or have an accident, or, something might happen that somebody misinterprets. So.
Right. Oh, that's good. That's a good point.
Yes.
And is there anything else that you recommend?
No, just to keep in mind, a lot of people make the mistake that a therapy dog gives them access to everywhere, airplanes, restaurants, hospitals, that type of thing. It does not. It is not a service dog. Service dogs are the ones that can be, under federal law, can go into any place that a human can go into, within reason. I mean, you don't want to go into surgery, or of course, not everyone can go into the surgery room, but anywhere that a person can go, a service dog can go, but not a therapy dog. They have to have special permission to go anywhere.
That's a good point to remember. Yeah.
Yes. Good.
Any other questions from anyone watching, or Haley?
I don't see any other questions in the chat.
I don't see any other.
But that's okay. Yeah. We got a lot of information.
So definitely go to the websites and see what therapy dogs do. There's a wealth of information about that. Or if you want a service dog, or if you want a comfort dog, then definitely there's a lot of stuff online that you can look up. But therapy dogs are just our pets that we share with others.
Great.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Carolyn. And
You're
thank you, Tommy.
Yeah.
We wish we could hug you right now.
Here's my page, Blue Water Therapy Dog Club. And remember, anyone can come to our meeting 6:30 the second Friday at Great Lakes Canine on Runnels Street off Water Street.
Good.
Or anybody can contact me through Facebook or calling through. You can get my phone number at Great Lakes or just give me a call with questions.
That's fantastic.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you. Gave me a reason to put my shirt on.
Well,
My Therapy Dog Club. I haven't worn it, and I did wear it when I went to last week, but I miss wearing my official shirt.
yes, well, we miss having you in the library, but
I know.
You know, we had some good I was looking forward to Dogs and Donuts.
yes,
The donut alone.
exactly. Let's see. We have some thank yous from YouTube. Thank you everyone for watching, and thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you. It was fun.
It was, and we'll have a real dog visit here soon.
Tommy up here to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye, Tommy.
Wait, look at the camera.
Bye, Tommy.
What am I
We
looking
miss you.
So,
All right. Well, thank you again. Thank you everyone for watching, and we hope we will see you all soon. We hope everybody's staying safe and healthy.
stay safe and healthy.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know how to get out of here now.
I'm about to end it.
Okay, that'll get me out, I think.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Say bye.